All right, so I guess what we'll end up talking about this a little bit is that we've often talked a lot about police powers that they have over us, and usually the big ones that we have, right, is like their discretion to make decisions, their ability to use force, and their ability to search and seize into like property, right? And these are really like tremendous powers, right? Like if you want to go up and you want to, search someone, like you really can't unless you want to be charged with like a crime, right? Nor can you go up and punch someone in the face, like even though you may like want to or like get super aggressive without facing, some kind of like backlash, which can happen, right? So, even though that we might do this right, if you think about like, maybe if you're like a parent or if you maybe have a partner that you are concerned about, right? One of the most powerful things that we have here is all of these things, right? But in particular, this search and seize kind of thing. And if you think about like what this actually does, right? In terms of like why you would go through, let's say you had, an iPhone color, with the green screen here, right? We'll do a little 3D. This is already thicker than most iPhones, but whatever, right? You know, let's say that you were spying on Bay, right? What you're really going to look for is what, right? You're going to go through the text message block, so you're facing the phone, right? Here, right? You're going to be looking for what, right? Maybe first thing you're going to look for is like, ooh, maybe, right? They're texting someone on Android, and so they have like the green boxes, right? Something like right here. And then like, you find like a different text box, it's purple. Why the green boxes? So they can't, so your partner can't log into iMessage on your laptop or something like that if you have something like that, right? So I don't know, Bo. So you're looking for if it's not. I mean, like, well, I'm sorry. I think that's true, but at the same time, I'm not like advising people how to do it. But it's something to consider. Is that maybe if you have an iPhone and you're trying to like cheat on date, only date someone with an Android or turn off iMessage, so there's not a record. Anyway, I crack myself up. Anyway, what we ended up talking about for this video is that when you do this, right, what you're trying to do is to collect information for an investigation. So, and like investigation stuff is, one kind of thing, right? So, with this information, if you're going through like Bay's phone, right, in some way, right, you're looking for what evidence of faithfulness, right? So, is Bay being faithful? Do they support the relationship? Maybe you're looking for like their, standing or they're like in the like strength of the relationship, right? Or maybe you want to see like is this one person like friends with their ex and stuff like that. Do they think about like the old times, whatever, right? And like going through someone's phone and other items like that, is really like a big breach of trust, like it, and can feel very invasive, right? I've never had that to the best of my knowledge. I've never had anyone, go through my personal belongings and items, try to scoop me out. But I can think of someone I dated who I would think is most likely to have done that out of everyone I've dated. But point being, right, is that when you are getting into this, right, you're taking someone's property, you're going through, searching it all out, right? This can create kind of a problem, right? Because we have what ends up being an infringement on privacy. So you're going into someone's personal items, you're seeing like their records, their communications, their messages, and stuff like that. And it's quite an issue, right? So if we've ever been confronted by someone about the partner, like you can feel like, oh, what are you doing? Oh, it feels weird. Oh, creepy. Oh, like all kinds of stuff like that, right? Now, the consequences of this, if it's bad, like, maybe you have an argument, maybe it could lead to a relationship breakup. Maybe it could possibly lead to some reputation damage, depending on how someone airs out, their grievances, right? Who knows? So you can see, like, that's kind of like a low stakes kind of issue, right? Like, really, at the end of the day, if we get chewed out by, a partner or maybe perhaps former partner, depending on how things go. I mean, like, we've all been chewed out before, right? We'll probably be chewed out again, and at the end of the day, it's not that big of a deal. Police, though, are a very different matter, right? Because the actions and situations that police undertake are much more life-altering, have much more of a life trajectory that can dramatically affect someone for the rest of their life, right? In really harmful ways. Not only just from, the actual arrest, which, maybe in and of itself is not that big of a deal, but once you start including, the time you spent in jail, the potential loss of a job, the reputation, loss of family structures, like whatever you could, I don't know, maybe get shanked in jail, awaiting trial, then going to prison, having a criminal record, and so on, right? All that are related to these infringements of privacy. So what this leads to is this discussion then of what the government can and can't do regarding searches and seizures, really, because it's also like arrest powers as well. With this, though, what we end up trying to do, what a lot of the laws try to do, is to limit or set the boundaries for police behavior and what is and what cannot be acceptable, to make sure that the government is not overly intrusive and given the hardcore consequences that can come with having a police encounter. So what we'll end up doing is that we'll start talking a little bit more about those issues in this little